What's up, y'all? We call this piece Women Creating Players. Let me adjust this a little bit. Cough a little bit. Yeah. So, I'm doing what I usually do in the mornings. Check all my virtual traps and everything. And see how much money I made while I was sleeping. And of course, I check my IG, for research purposes. Anyway, people like sending me messages on IG because they figure, hey, Ron responds quicker this way. Unless I have to block you. But somebody sent me a video. Want to see what I thought about it. And in the video, it was a little kid and an adult woman, and I think it had to be in the islands or something, right? It had to be in the islands, but as I'm going to get into it, I've seen similar behavior in the States as well. And this kid, he had to, let's see, he might have been about 4 or 5 years old. He was straight grinding up on this adult woman, dancing. She was twerking, or she was on all fours. He was grinding up on her. He was keeping a groove too. He was in rhythm. Or let me get ghetto about it, rhythm. Right? I was like, oh, snap. Now, to some adults' credit, I don't know whether she was an auntie or his mother. No, it's probably an auntie, because the mother might slap the woman on all fours, but came over and grabbed him. And, I was just like, wow. And I've seen other videos like that before. You get some little kid, he grinding up on a woman, she thinking it's cute. But I'm just like, all right. There go a future Mr. Goodbar. Y'all remember when I used to use that term for those guys that, for the most part going to be players? There go a future player right there. Now, I remember a couple years ago, for those who know, I write for O'Shea Duke Jackson's site, the Negro Manosphere. And I wrote an article. Since it's a black-orientated site, the article was called Black Women Create the Men They Come to Dislike. Something like that. I can't remember the title. Once I write something or do a video on it, I actually don't remember it. People be hitting me up, remember that video? I'll be like, no, not really. I be channeling this stuff anyway, so I don't remember. So, I wrote an article talking about that. Of course, it went viral, broke the site twice. Women would hit me up. Women would hit me up on Twitter and stuff. They were jumping in. I can't believe you did that. And I know they couldn't believe when I said hit dog solid. But my point with that article, even this discussion right now, all right, you got that little kid grinding up on the woman. I guarantee, unless he has some type of religious indoctrination like literally pounded into him, he gonna be growing up, he gonna be one of those kids grow up, probably be like a teenage father or something like that, or a definite player. Because I've seen it a lot. Even when I did that article, people don't realize that's from research and observations going back to the 90s. In fact, a psychologist back in the 90s, I can't remember his name, but he said you can go anywhere and tell the future pimps and players. Look at how some of these kids are dressed up. Because on one hand, you got some of these kids, and these just the ones that somebody videotaped. These are just the ones somebody videotaped, so it's like probably worse what's not being videotaped. Grinding up on some adult woman and shoot. And I've talked to a lot of players. You gotta sometimes you got some of these female babysitters and stuff. They be getting with males and females, really. I've had at least one woman tell me when she was 8, some adult babysitter was grinding up on her or making her do some things. But these players are created. Like, women create the players anyway. Because a lot of guys can think they players. They can watch everybody's dating coach video, but the women decide who they're going to get with or not. And like I was saying about that thing about the grinding, another thing is when you get these women who dress their babies up a little too cute with swag. Now, I actually personally know some women. I ain't gonna put them on blast or hide them because people be trying to search for them then, but they got little babies and, you know, the hair done up right, got some earrings, got their swag, and you might think the shit's cute. And the dude probably grow up with that, you know, that swag, everything like that. But then when he no good to somebody, or he got some kids he ain't taking care of, and then, you know, the baby mama calling him a fuck boy, or somebody else calling him a fuck boy, then the mother going to be like, I don't know how this happened. Even though the mother probably be enabling it. That's another thing too. Some women talk trash about players, but trust me, his mom probably know what's up. Probably enabling him. Probably saying, hey baby, you be your other girl who I don't like anyway, she trying to holler, I'll tell her something, you go out this back door or something. But women be creating that stuff. I mean, and, you know, I know some people say, well, what about men? No deflection. Because, yeah, some men maybe not being absent or showing them the right way plays a part, but really, but many players learn the game from women. Because the way they learn is what they learn they can get away with. If you got some little kid at 4 years old grinding up on some grown-ass woman's butt, well, shit, what do you think he gonna think as he get older? He gonna think this shit normal. Shit. And this ain't some, you know, for our people who think some new shit, man. I'm seeing that shit back in the 70s. I'm seeing stuff like that back in the 70s and stuff. You know, I'm a 7-8-year-old witnessing these things. And then wonder why that guy grow up to think, oh, he don't have to work. All he have to do for a woman is, like, be cute. You know, be fly and stuff. Well, shoot, he was raised that way. He wasn't raised to be responsible. Somebody didn't check him when he did something with somebody. Like, even that situation, what I saw, you know, for an adult woman to, I mean, I know, like, at some of those party things, you know, you get, like, some of those festivals, they getting all buck wild, but it's one thing to do with an adult, but you got some little kid, you know. And even for that little kid to run up on, I'm quite sure she was probably just, like, doing her little, you know, on all fours twerk or something. He might just ran up on her. I would hope she didn't just grab him and say, come here, little boy, come get this. I would hope. But that she allowed it, I was like, what the fuck? But then wonder, the same women, some women in the future is going to wonder, why he like this? Why he doing all this with all these women? You know? Why he ain't acting right? Well, shit, he wasn't raised to act right. It ain't raised to act right. And, you know, it's like, we can talk about what the men didn't do this or something, but if a woman's enabling the behavior, shit, can't do anything with that. Or, well, you could say, okay, women gotta start taking responsibility. Like these mothers out here. Like, I remember when I used to see these mothers, they walking around, dudes, kids all fly, I'd be like, that's a future good part. Oh man, I'm trying to laugh about it, but really it's more of a serious matter. You know, it's more of a serious matter, and it's very important. Yeah, because I thought about a couple instances kind of close to home, so I said, okay, let me laugh about it before y'all catch a Rom rant. But and you know, and that's the thing, it's like, really, and especially depending on the place, you know, you gotta pay attention to what the kid's exposed to and all of that. You really do. And you know, at the bottom line, though, for an adult woman or adult women sometimes to either encourage that type of behavior in young men or little boys, they can't even call them young men, little boys, or dress their little boys up to catch that type of behavior, is something that women have to check with other women too. Now, sometimes women, in all fairness, you get some women who do check that little trifling ass behavior. But just the fact it happened and everything, you know. So it's like, if we're going to talk about what's happening out here, you know, my thing is, we can't just say, well, if the women just act right or if the men just act right. is if everybody's playing a part. Every single person. What's my time? Yeah, you're not only like giving y'all 10 minutes. So everything gotta be looked at, and behavior like that is unacceptable. It really is. Really is. So anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to put that out there. You know, see, I was gonna talk about something else today. But yeah, people be sending me videos and sending me links and stuff. If you want to guarantee something get talked about, though, send a brother money. This God works harder for money. So anyway, y'all, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.